or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the door. Hello, everybody. And I just want to thank you all for patiently waiting as we are getting started here on Daily with Doc. So Ruth Ellen is going to give me a thumbs up and let me know that we have sound right now on Facebook, on YouTube, on Rumble. And I got a thumbs up from Farhan. Thank you so much. So everybody here in the Zoom room can hear me as well. That is absolutely what I want to have happen. So thumbs up all the way around. Thank you, everybody, and welcome to Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, I am excited and honored to be able to bring to you a resource that has information that allows you to write your own health journey, be more in control of what is going on in your health. Even if you've gotten into that journey of poor health, the good doctor that we have with us today has said many, many times that as long as you're still breathing oxygen, it's not too late. So there's a lot of things that we can do for the body. There are some conditions that, yes, can cause enough damage that is irreversible. But for the most part, when you look at all of these different conditions, even the ones that have been said to be genetic, the pathology behind it, especially whenever you've got 3 postdoctorates in pathology looking at the body, looking at the cells, looking at nutrients and everything that's in the body, and then the diseases that are occurring also in that body. You kind of connect dots. And I love that about Dr. Wallach. He has been connecting dots for 75 years, I think.
Yes.
And taking all that information in and then putting it together, and not just taking it in, but doing additional research to confirm, and then putting it in books, lots of books. I think we've got 22, 23 books now, over 75 publications and peer-reviewed publications. I mean, these are things that have been funded. Many of his publications have even been funded by the National Institute of Health, the NIH, including a national treasure that is held in the Smithsonian Museum called Diseases of Exotic Animals that Dr. Wallach did many, many years ago. But I'll tell you what, when you're looking at the foundation of health, that has not changed. What is needed to maintain health, that has not changed. But what has changed is the minerals and nutrients within the food that we're eating. The depletion continues within the soil. And that is what we're going to be hearing a little more about today in this program, Daily with Doc. Now, if you are watching us on Rumble or Facebook or YouTube or any other platform, and you would like to join us here live Monday through Friday, 12 to 12:50 Pacific time, you are more than welcome to come join us and raise your hand. For those of you who are here with us right now, if you have questions for Dr. Wallach, find that reactions and raise hand option in the Zoom menu, and we will be going to hands after Dr. Wallach shares a little message with us about what is on his mind. So without further ado, if somebody invited you to this program, don't forget to get back with them and thank them for sharing this information with you. We do have this program sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. On that program, we have all the replays for our programs that we have been holding for the last 2.5 years. And I'm super excited that we have our own website for this. And there's also a store. So if there's nobody to thank, feel free to go to that store. If you want to get in contact with a certified holistic health coach, you can use that Contact Us. I will get you matched up with a certified holistic health coach that is in your time zone, in your area, or familiar with the things that you have going on. So in that Contact Us, share with us a little bit about what you are looking for. All right. Now, Dr. Wallach, you are a doctor of veterinary medicine.
Correct.
A naturopathic physician.
Correct.
with 3 postdoctorates prior to becoming a naturopath, 3 postdoctorates in pathology. What does that mean?
Well, this means that we had sponsorship to look at big projects, doing autopsies on a lot of animals, a lot of people, to try and figure out what's the cause of disease process and if it's preventable, curable, and all that kind of stuff. And totally, over the years, I've done over 32,000 autopsies. I still get material sent to me to review. You'd expect that with my experience, and so forth. And have discovered there are, as you pointed out, there are no genetically transmitted diseases. Doctors started saying that at the turn of the century, when genes were kind of really looked at, and they didn't know answers to things, and they didn't want to appear ignorant and say, I don't know. They just said, well, it's a genetic thing. You got 3 people in your family with it, and it's a genetic thing. And they just left it at that. Sorry, you got to live with it or die with it, but it's a genetic thing because everybody in your family's got it. Same thing with autoimmune. Oh, you have lupus, you have rheumatoid arthritis. These things, your body's attacking itself. There's nothing we can do about it but treat the symptoms. It's all nonsense. Those are all simple nutritional deficiencies. These, with the exception of rheumatoid arthritis, it's nutritional or deficiency arthritis plus an infection with a bug called mycoplasma, which is killable with an antibiotic called minocycline. And I don't care if you've had rheumatoid arthritis for 45 years. In 2 to 6 weeks, I can get rid of it with our program. The nutritional part and the antibiotics. With lupus, that's a very easy one. It's a devastating disease, but it's just a simple nutritional deficiency disease. Okay, and all of this, of course, is in my materials, and that's why my thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. The books sell for $25,000 each if they're still in the wrapper, but I think they have 1,176 pages in the book, and the actual thesis is 5,000 pages. But we have a summary of that, because people aren't going to spend $25,000. That's for universities and big corporations. There you go.
I beat you.
Epigenetics. And I'll give you an example, because this was, I saw an ad on TV this morning. I was eating breakfast, where somebody said, oh, he found the cause of tinnitus, ringing in the ears, and he was ready to commit suicide because he had this ringing in his ears and everything like that, and his life was a mess, and blah, 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 blah. He found out it's a nerve in the brain, okay? And you take this herb, and the herb will give you symptomatic relief, but you're still going to have problems, because when you have tinnitus, for the most part, it's caused by osteoporosis of the skull, with very, very obvious problems going on in the skull. 1/4 inch thick in normal skull, 1.5 to 2 inches thick in the skull with osteoporosis, squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves and the spinal cord. 37 different diseases. And of course, there's a CD that goes along with the book. 37 different diseases, 17 of which are from the skull, squeezing the spinal cord and the spinal cord and the skull down to your tailbone, down to your feet and toes. And, I heard another one too. This guy's getting tingling of the fingers. Okay. And the doctor is saying, oh, you're just getting old, no. What's happening is the skull is squeezing, the spinal cord is coming out of the back of the skull. Spinal cord is forming, the brain comes down. Squeezing that spinal cord is causing that tingling in the fingers and the toes, okay, because of the problem going on up here. You get this book in the CD, and within weeks, you can resolve these problems yourself, because it tells you exactly what to do to prevent and reverse these problems. They're not genetic, they're not autoimmune, very simple nutritional diseases. You don't just get osteoporosis of your knees and your hips and your vertebrae, any bone in your body. When you get osteoporosis in your little finger, your right hand, you get osteoporosis in every bone in your body. Okay. And for osteoporosis in America, we spend $2.3 trillion every year just to treat the symptoms in America alone of osteoporosis. Arthritis, we spend $626.8 billion. Together, it's $3 trillion we're spending each year just to treat the symptoms of doctor-diagnosed arthritis and osteoporosis. To me, that's criminal. It's crazy. Okay, when you can take these nutrients and avoid the bad foods, you save a lot of money by getting rid of the bad foods. Bad foods tend to be expensive. Okay. And so it's one of those things. Now, with all that said, That's what we do. And of course, we do this over 600 different disease processes. We have 5,000 products. So there's very few things I haven't heard of. Okay. There's very few things I haven't heard of. Okay. I mean, I've even heard of sundowner syndrome. It's one of those things where it's life goes on and we know how to deal with this. Nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. Plants do not make minerals. Plants can make vitamins, amino acids, and fatty acids. When you take all these pieces together, the only way you're going to guarantee you're going to get everything you need to prevent and reverse these diseases is to take them. Okay. And so that's why we came up with the program we have. Now, I'm very, very concerned because this weekend, just a couple of days ago, I think it was Saturday, the North Koreans bragged that they had recruited in 3 days 800,000 new recruits in uniform, ready to go to war against the United States, and it's like crazy. And then yesterday, Sunday, guess what? They said, oh, now we have 1.4 million recruits in uniform, ready to go, and we're practicing nuclear attacks. Well, that made me concerned because let's see, out of 1.4 million people, do you think they're all sane? Do you think nobody's going to make a mistake in a practice program with 1.4 million people involved? No. And so we need to be prepared. I was a Boy Scout. I spent 10 years in the Army, artillery primarily, Fort Leonard Wood, and then 105s, 155 howitzers. Then I spent 20 years in the Air Force. Okay, retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. And it's one of those things where I've seen just about everything a human being can see around the world. Okay, I've been to probably over 100 countries and you name it, between the military and business and just personal travel and so forth. And it's one of those things where some things are universal. Okay, for instance, when you have a deficiency of iodine, you're going to get a thyroid problem. Every little 6-year-old kid knows that. Oh, thyroid. Oh, iodine. This is not difficult. Okay. And so it's one of those things where we have put together, as Rebecca said, we have 22 books now. We've got several more coming out here pretty soon, some of which are just going to be a mind blower because they are big, big, big. Okay. And so I do want to say, I urge you, if you're not already a Youngevity customer or Youngevity associate, do join us. You'll pay wholesale for the products. If you get an auto ship, I will pay the shipping. And when you're ready to retire, you can turn your Youngevity membership or your business to your family, okay, or your church or whoever you want to turn it over to. If you're working for a big corporation for 20 years and you retire or you die, do they get your job? No, of course not. We're not saying don't get that big job, but you can do the Youngevity program at home, you know, 1 evening a week or 2 evenings a week or on the weekend or whatever. And you get a lot of tax deductions by running a business out of your home. Okay, you have an office, what percentage of your floor space, your utilities, all that kind of stuff is tax deductible, and your own personal health program, including your supplements, is tax deductible. Why not do this? I mean, this is crazy not to do this, okay? So we have a book. It's called Prepare, okay? And Prepare is a book that actually, thank you, Becca. Prepare goes into what you need to do to be prepared, okay? And that's me when I was in the Army, okay? I was a bad boy. It was involved with a lot of conflicts around the world, okay? Seen a lot of bad stuff and seen a lot of good stuff. And so it's one of those things where we need to start stocking up. And what I do, when I order my products, I order an extra bottle of everything. If I'm going to go through 2 bottles of something a month, well, let's say I'm going to go through 2 bottles of Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I don't have high blood pressure, okay? I don't have artery blocked, but I take that just to prevent it, okay? And so instead of getting my regular 2, I get 3. And that way I'm accumulating more what if the post office gets shut down? What if suddenly now raw materials coming from outside the country aren't available immediately, and so we can't make a product or something like that? And so I'm hedging my bet because I'm ordering extra to kind of build up. We put up 2 more shelves in the hallways so we can put all this extra stuff in, and that way we're going to be prepared. Okay, you stick with that thinking. Okay, so that holds true for all of the products, and it's one of those things where this is not difficult. And as Rebecca said in the beginning, I spent 75 years, and actually it was longer than that because I was sick for 4 years before that and saw 20 doctors. There you go. This is a 75-year walk, okay? A 75-year walk through medical and medical research and nutritional research history, okay, and research. And it's a mind blower. We have people like Pat Boone did the introduction. We have Danny Glover do a chapter, and they talk about famous people like Andy Young, who's ambassador to the United Nations, the mayor of Atlanta, and many, many other famous people, okay, whose health problems we got rid of. And all the best doctors in the world and the best hospitals in America with all the insurance they have and government support couldn't solve it. And our little nutritional programs and diets solve their problems. And that's why they're saying, oh, you're doing a new book. Can we tell our story? Well, yeah, absolutely. So we're very, very proud of this book. And it was put together by a committee of doctors and lawyers and successful business people. And they don't want to give their names, okay? They don't want to give their names, so they just call themselves the committee.
It's the Citizens Committee, okay? Citizens Committee for Better Medicine, Dr. Wallach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very proud of them. Very proud of them. I do have to tell you one of them, Jonathan Emord, my great attorney. He and I sued the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, 8 times in federal court. We won every case. It was to get nutrition put into baby formulas. Now, before we put our nutrition in there, babies were dying by the hundreds every year in America alone from sudden death syndrome. And doctors were saying the mothers were laying on the babies and suffocating them. I don't know if you heard that one. Rebecca, did you hear that? That the doctors were laying on the babies and suffocating them?
The mothers were laying on the babies and suffocating them.
Yeah,
that's what the doctors were saying.
For years and years and years and years. And really, as soon as we got this nutrients put in the baby formulas, within weeks, sudden death syndrome stopped. Gone. Well, now, and then, of course, a couple of months ago, I think it was like for 3 months, 6 months, they couldn't get baby formula with our supplements in it. Why? Oh, because they couldn't get the raw materials in here to make the baby formulas anymore. And so it was like 6 months, they were out of baby formulas, and all these babies are dying and getting sick and everything like that. And now sudden death syndrome is kind of spiking again. Well, why is that? Well, because the prices of the baby formulas have gone up. Baby formula companies have doubled and tripled the prices. And so in less, let's see here, less opulent communities and poorer communities, okay, they're just buying cow's milk and giving to the babies. And so suddenly now, sudden death syndrome has returned. It's primarily, it's supposed to be like 80, 90% in the Black community. It's a financial thing, and they've gone to a cheaper source. Well, that's why we have Kids Toddy. That's the wrong one. This is one I'm looking
but it's the same kind of bottle, Doc. So
yeah,
tell us about Kids Toddy. So
yeah, Kids Toddy.
Kids Toddy.
Yeah. Now, this is our version of a baby formula. And on the back label, it tells you how much to give per pound of body weight. And if you're giving that baby 3 or 4 meals a day of a baby formula, 1 or 2 of them, anywhere from a third to a half, you should be giving Kids Toddy. Because
you would be adding it to. You would be adding it to the formula in the milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can take it, it's meant to also take by itself. I mean, if you can't get a baby formula, if you can't get milk, if the mother's not producing milk anymore because she can't get enough food to produce breast milk, this is a total replacement with the exception of one thing, and that's the EFAs. I think I would like to see more EFAs in here. And so you can add 1 or 2 EFAs, 1 EFA, 1 EFA plus in here. Okay. And just look at the dosage rate on the back of the bottle. But this is available. And so I'd be stocking up. Get an extra bottle of everything just in case they do something silly again. They can't get all the raw materials and they can't make baby formula again. Suddenly now the babies are going to start dying again because they're just going to give them milk. okay, skim milk or something like that, whatever is cheapest on the market. Don't do that because there's no nutrition in it. Okay. And let's see here. We talked about that. We talked about that. Talked about that. This. Okay. And so what you want to do here now is get that book, Rare Earths Bin Cures, and go to chapter 1011, page 272 is where it starts. This covers a lot of different diseases that are caused by mineral deficiencies, but equally important, it tells you how to collect your hair, how to package it. It starts at page 272, and where to ship it to. Don't forget to put the check in there because the lab won't run the test without the check. And it'll give you 2 charts in about 2 weeks. One chart is your nutritional minerals. If they're all below the bottom line, that means you're not absorbing. You're eating gluten, you're eating buckwheat with phagopyrines in it, and your intestines are dead. And that's why you're sick. No matter how much you put in your mouth, if you're eating gluten and buckwheat, if you're eating wheat brought around oats, guess what? All the nutrition is going to come out the other end into the septic tank. You're not going to get the benefit of it. And then, so if you're not eating gluten, you're going to see these mineral levels be all over the place. And so you know which ones you have to ramp up on. But I like to use, our complete programs. Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 215 nutrients. The core is still the 90 essential nutrients. If finances are a problem, go with the Healthy Start Pack. It's like 75% of the price of a Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And then also it has a second chart and table, which goes into all of the known toxic minerals, including lead and mercury and uranium and things like that. And then we have Herbal Rainforest, which has 13 cleansing herbs, and the plant minerals, which will help your body get rid of the toxic minerals. You do not need a doctor's prescription to do a hair analysis. You don't need to have a doctor's prescription to take the 90 essential nutrients. You don't have the need for a doctor's prescription to take the Herbal Rainforest, okay? So jump on this. This is something you can do annually, especially if you travel or you work in a factory. And food prices are going up. I mean, a lot of these big companies have yanked eggs off the market. Where are you going to get your cholesterol to maintain your brain? You wind up like, let's see here, somebody like Bruce Willis, okay, with FTD, frontal temporal dementia, which is kind of a type of Alzheimer's disease that affects just the front of the brain, the side of the brain, and the back of the brain is good. Okay. And so we have the I-26. I like the vanilla chewables. I take those 2 or 3 a day. Okay. We also have the powder. Okay. Of the I-26. We also have the capsules of I-26. So you can take it any way, the form you want to. But again, I want to jump back here to our colloidal silver, which is an antibiotic. It's been used for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. You won't turn blue if you use it. I put a dropper full under my tongue. Actually 2 droppers full under my tongue, one on one side, one on the other side, before breakfast, before lunch, before dinner. When I wake up in the morning, when I go to bed at night, I go through 2 of those bottles a month from Longevity. And let's see here. Also, I like this one here, which is the eucalyptus honey, okay, for tickly sore throat and sneezing and coughing in the morning and all that kind of stuff. It gets rid of mucus and stuff like this. If I'm kind of scratchy throat because I've been talking all night at a meeting or something, and I'm on the radio and I'm starting to get, I take this and the problem goes away instantly. Okay, that's the eucalyptus honey syrup. Okay, I love this stuff. And I talk to people who have had blood pressure forever. They're on 2 or 3 different medications. Go to different doctors, they change them, and it kind of controls the symptoms. But they obviously have a problem. So they get on our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. We get them on the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight. And in a couple of weeks, blood pressure comes down, circulation in the arteries of the brain and the heart and the kidneys, blood pressure goes down. You can slowly reduce your medication based on the numbers. Don't cold turkey on the medication if you're on medication before it starts going down. Okay. And so all of this stuff is not difficult. All this stuff is not difficult. We, as Rebecca says, we have 22 books, and you go to www.drjwallach.com, www.drjwallach.com. If you buy 10 of any one of the titles, you get a nice discount. And if you're doing the longevity business as a business, you want to have these books and CDs and DVDs accessible to your team. And this will help them, will give them confidence that they know what they're saying is correct. They can show people the references in the books. They can say, okay, I'm going to loan you a CD. Okay, don't give it to them. You loan it to them. And we're talking about weight loss. We're talking about high blood pressure. We're talking about diabetes. We're talking about arthritis. We're talking about Alzheimer's disease. We're talking about FTD, frontal temporal dementia. We're talking about Alzheimer's disease. We're talking about MS, multiple sclerosis, demyelinization, low back pain, and stuff like that. Why would you want to have surgery when you can just change your diet a little bit and take some supplements and regrow everything? Well, my doctor says you can't do that. Well, your doctor didn't get any education on these subjects in school. They just get taught symptom relief and surgical techniques. Okay, they don't know anything about relieving disease with nutrition. Okay, I think they don't even know that scurvy is caused by vitamin C deficiency. I don't even think they know that. Okay, because they still get people with scurvy. How do you get people in this day and age with scurvy? Okay. All right. That's why they call the British limeys, because they learned that they could prevent and cure scurvy by drinking lime juice and eating limes. Isn't that crazy? That's why they're called limeys. Okay. I apologize. I think I probably took too much time.
We took a little bit of time and we have hands up, but hey, that's what this program is about, right? Dr. Wallach, providing information that gives people knowledge so that they can make empowered and decisions based on, truth.
Facts and truth. This is facts and
Right.
truth. And again, this represents 320,000 autopsies. I just get breathless when I think about that. And some of these projects, I did 1,700 autopsies. And some projects, I did 10,000 autopsies and so forth. And so this is all over the world.
Yeah. All the time, Dr. Wallach, you're getting emails and texts requesting that you review different things. And folks, if you've sent something in and you don't get automatic response, we're sorry, you're in line. So I'm helping Doctor get through all of those. And we're doing the best we can in between Zooms. So with that being said, Dr. Wallach, let's go to the first hand that is what?
You didn't mention Zoom. I want to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
It's a podcast. The muscular dystrophy story.
Yes.
Is that
You can
available?
find the muscular dystrophy story.
Muscular dystrophy story. It tells the true story of Jerry Lewis being fired, and the Muscular Dystrophy Association fired him. They put a gag order on him so he couldn't say anything. They shut down his telethon after he raised $2.6 billion for them because he brought them the prevention and cure for muscular dystrophy. And the whole story with Marvin Ropp and I are on this Zoom. No, not Zoom. Sorry.
Podcast.
Well,
you're right. So it's a podcast recorded on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find that on dailywithdoc.com. You will find the muscular dystrophy story. So make sure that you go there to the website. You can also find it on Rumble and YouTube and on the Critical Health News Facebook page. So if you're joining us here and you're looking for, well, I can't find Daily with Doc, go to Critical Health News. We are kind of the child of Critical Health News and are partnered with them to just expand on the information that Dr. Wallach has put together and putting it into different formats. And I love the fact that Dr. Wallach, that we are going deeper into specific subjects and giving more empowering information that is teaching.
Yes, well, that's why all the books and CDs were required. That's why these podcasts are retired, because we can't be everywhere, and the line would be too long. Okay.
Well, and Dr. Wallach, with our videos and our podcasts, even a child that can't read is getting information that's going to help them later in life.
It's true.
People that are blind, not able to read the books because they're not in Braille yet, Dr. Wallach. They can still hear the message. They can still get the information and be able to incorporate it into their lives.
And these are on these, what do they call them? The books that are electronic books, ebooks
The-
or
So those would be an audiobook. We're working on
audiobook?
getting
Mhm.
more audiobooks. Ebooks are just a digital copy of your book that people can thumb page through and read. So, folks, even old dogs can learn new tricks. Well, Dr. Wallach, I'm going to go ahead and see why I can't see the hands. There we go. We're going to go to the first hand that is up, and we have our friend Farhan. Welcome to Daily with Doc. How are you today? Let me give you, hold on, now try.
I'm doing well, Becca. Thank you so much. You and Dr. Wallach and everyone else on the call. So I didn't want to take too much time. I didn't see anyone else with their hand raised, so I raised my hand. But I wanted to say that so I recently got an order in. It was for the I-26, and I bought that because of the coaching course. They talk about that and some other products. And I said, well, I'm having some like a blockage in my nose, right? I'm getting a lot of mucus buildup and felt kind of like allergies. But when I knew that, I thought, okay, something's going on. I shouldn't be having allergies if I take supplements and everything's going right. But then I heard about hyperimmune egg, and yeah, and I've only had it for about 3 or 4 days so far, and it worked really well. Like my nose totally clear. It's like 95% clear. And not only that, it was really great hearing Dr. Glidden and Dr. Winkle talk about the product, but the cardiovascular improvements, like when I was at the gym, I've noticed it right away as well. It's only 4 days. So I just want to give you guys an update that, yeah, that stuff really
Thank you.
worked.
Thank you for sharing that.
No problem. Also, the Digest FX, started using that as well because I heard that it was good. And I'm having really regular bowel movements now, like right after I eat. And that's not how it was 4 days ago or before. Maybe I'd have a bowel movement later in the day. I wasn't like constipated or anything, but it's pretty regular now. And I was just like, whoa, super surprised. But this stuff worked really quickly. So I'm really glad that I
And it's good to know you have a schedule because you can be prepared and you're not going to be in the middle of a conference with a bunch of people and say, oh, it's time, because you'll know when it's going to happen.
kind of feels like that. Kind of feels like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom to urinate, but it's like, well, maybe I can do a bowel movement, which is just odd. It's just weird, especially if people are not used to going to the bathroom like that. So those two things were really good. What else? What else? I've been taking EFAs. I took a blood test a couple months ago, and it seems like I was deficient in that. I've always had really dry skin, especially the lips and around my fingernails. They look pretty good. Little red, but they're not. The skin is not peeling off like they were, so that's looking good. And my my lips, they're still a little bit dry, but improved a lot. I have retainers in, and when I would take them out to drink something or eat something, it would really bother me. It would hurt. There was like a little cut on my lip as well that wouldn't close up, so it would hurt when I opened my mouth or touch it. And yeah, a couple of days of that. I bought the Projoba Omega as well recently, and that seemed to really do it. I was on the EFAs only for about 2 weeks, but I bought the Projoba maybe 4 days ago. I got it. Since I started using that, it closed up the little cut on my lip, and so it's looking good. So I just want to give a little update on some products.
Yeah, and if you have a history of skin problem, you want to be sure you're taking some collagen.
Yeah.
You want to be taking the MSM, take the collagen peptides, take the let's see here, the glucogel, which is our first collagen product. It went along with the when we invented the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. It was just our Healthy Start Pack with the glucogel added to it, and that was our Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. And we helped Theo Ratliff, great basketball player. He lost his position with the Atlanta Hawks because he had bone-to-bone arthritis in his knees and his hips and fractured his shooting wrist. He's only 24 years old. Lost a $30 million contract. And we rebuilt him. He came back and he played for 11 years, made $100 million. Not bad.
Yeah, I love that story. It's really great. I do actually have the MSM, the collagen peptides, and the glucogel, and I've been starting to use that, and it helped a lot again with the gym. When I usually go on the incline, and then I would notice my knees hurting. Well, my knees haven't hurt in a little while now. I used to have fatigue in my legs.
You're going to the gym. Don't forget the rebound.
I need to get more rebound. I do. I tried that maybe 7 years ago, and it was good. And then whatever reason I stopped. I need to try that again for my pre-workout.
Yeah.
Maybe even after as well.
So,
But
we have the sticks, we have the powder, and we have the cans. I drink the cans when I'm at home. When I go on the road, I take the sticks with me. The powders I don't like to take on the road because the people at the airports, they check all your stuff out and they don't put the tops on tight again, so you'll wind up with all your clothes being covered with rebound.
yeah, I might go on a trip here soon, and I hope I can take some powders. And if I can't, then that's just how it's gonna be. But
Yeah,
we'll see what
take the sticks because they may cut one open or something to look and see what it is, but there's 30 sticks in a box. So when I leave the house, this is what I like to take with me. I drink the cans at home.
yeah.
Be sure to put the tops on the cans the night before you're going to drink them. Put them in the refrigerator, and they off gas all the bubbly, so they're flat in the morning. You don't want the carbonation.
No doubt. So thank you for that, Dr. Wallach. I'm just really happy that I bought these products recently. I started with the 90 or at least Beyond Tangy Tangerine years ago. I just started using more products, and it's helped me out a lot really quickly as well. So people want really quick results. I don't promise that, but I bought 2 bottles of the I-26 just to see. It may take a while, but it happened almost immediately. The effects.
Did you change your diet? Did you get rid of the bad food so you could increase its efficiency of absorption?
Well, Dr. Wallach, since you asked that, I'm not perfect at it, but am I as bad as not being aware of it at all? I'm not as bad as other people, I guess, because I'm aware of it and I try not to do it all the time. And also I have family members in the home, and so they might bring stuff or eat stuff, and it's just like, okay, it's there. So the contamination's there, but thankfully things are going, and I have some skin, a little milia, right? So like chicken skin. So I'm monitoring that. Hopefully that goes away. If not, I'm always looking at my gut and seeing how I feel. And now that I have more knowledge, right, from these lives and the product trainings. So yeah, I'm looking out. I need to do better, but yeah.
Yeah, see, now starting at your age, you're going to add 25 to 50 healthy years of your life. You're not going to be one of these young people who die in their 20s and 30s and 40s and stuff, because they were exercising every day and just drinking water to rehydrate. They weren't taking the rebound to rebuild themselves.
There's that. Unfortunately, my family members are going through many health challenges. They know I've taken Beyond Tangy Tangerine 10 years ago, and I was overweight before, and they know what I look like after. But for some reason, something's stopping them from reaching out and really committedly, take all these products religiously.
Well, are you making a check from us yet?
No. So I've just started working on that, and I definitely.
Well, when you get a check that's over $100, you start showing them copies of your checks, and that will get them interested.
I'm interested in that as well, because I already do products, so it's about just helping others. Literally, It's that, which is tremendous.
You will be rewarded handsomely for helping others.
It's almost too good to be true, but now I'm trying to realize that, and hopefully I can do that now and hit the ground running. So that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach.
We thank you for your heart. We thank you for your willingness to move forward and help other people. God bless you, sir.
You as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Farhan. Let's just go on because we got several hands up. So Marilyn has a question. Marilyn, go ahead and come on camera with us. What question do you have for us today? Unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. We got 2 questions, hopefully in the chat you can address. One is from Big John. It's a just general question. He has, what do you recommend for someone who has blood clots, experiencing blood clots?
Okay, well, blood clots can be caused by several different deficiencies. One of the most common one is an essential fatty acid deficiency. And this is where the healthy starch pack comes in. It has all 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 3 fatty acids. And then, of course, we have the big hammer, I call it. It's the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. It has 215 nutrients, including 3 EFAs and 3 FA pluses. And since I take that twice a day, I'm getting 3 EFAs and 3 FA pluses twice a day. And I only weigh 142 pounds. And then the EFAs will actually prevent blood clots, prevent asthma, prevent lung problems, okay? And also helps with skin health and that kind of thing. Also, it helps the brain function better. The essential fatty acids make up part of the physiology and anatomy of the brain. Very important. Also, the skin. So there'll be a lot of miracles happen when people really ramp up in those EFAs and EFA pluses. Don't be taking olive oil, because olive oil oxidizes and turns into trans fats, especially been sitting on the shelf in the grocery store for a couple of weeks or a month or so at room temperature. Okay, it's oxidizing in there. And our EFAs and EFA pluses are actually extracted, okay, from the beans and from the fish livers and that kind of stuff under a nitrogen atmosphere, no oxygen. We flush the capsules out before we put the EFAs and EFA pluses in them, seal them, put them in the bottle, and then we flush the bottle with the nitrogen, then seal it. And so as long as you're not putting it in a barn where it's going to be 120 degrees for 3 months in a row during the summertime, you'll be okay.
Okay. My next question is from Anna, and wonder if you could talk about statins and their detrimental effect and how to get off of them.
Okay, I'm assuming she's taking statin drugs because she has high blood pressure. Is that correct?
I don't have information on that further.
It's just a general question, Dr. Wallach, in
Yes.
regards to statins.
I'm sorry?
It's just a general question in regards to statins and the negative effects that they have on the body.
Well, I would ask Siri that, and Siri will give you a list of all the negative things that statin drugs will do. But remember, probably 95% of the drugs, pharmaceuticals and prescription drugs that your doctor will write a prescription for, which you can go, get from the pharmacy. Some of them you can get without, like aspirin and that sort of stuff you don't need a prescription for. They treat symptoms. They don't cure the cause of the symptom. We have done both. We look at both the cause of the symptom and the symptoms. So we're dealing with making you comfortable very quickly as well as getting rid of the cause. And so people say, well, gosh, I've had type 2 diabetes for 25 years. And in 2 weeks' time, I've cut my insulin in half. And in 2 weeks more time, I was off of I was on insulin for 25 years. And in 4 weeks' time, I'm not diabetic anymore. We do this thousands of times an hour all around the world. We're in 80 countries. Okay. We've been doing this a long time. Same way with joints. Again, people like Pat Boone and Danny Glover and Andy Young, they were scheduled, and also people like Theo Ratliff. Okay. They were all scheduled to get joint replacement surgeries, and we got them on our programs. And within a couple of weeks, we regrew all their joints, and they never had to have the surgeries. And the same thing with Evander Holyfield. He lost his title heavyweight championship because he couldn't answer the bell, the last bell. And he lost his championship because of a default, because he couldn't answer the bell. We invented the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for him. Got him going. In 9 months' time, he comes back and he tears Mike Tyson apart and gets his title back. Who comes back from a near fatal heart attack and wins a heavyweight title back? Okay. Somebody who's on the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Okay.
Okay, excellent. I've heard you mention too selenium and EFAs for people with like high triglycerides.
Yeah, again, when you have high triglycerides, this means that your liver's not functioning, your liver's not happy, okay? And they can oxidize and turn into very, very nasty things that cause plaque in your arteries and cancer and all kinds of stuff. And when you get the Healthy Start Pack and the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, there's the selenium in there. Okay, and so I used to tell people, that you want to get this one mineral in addition to this, this, and this. They would just go get that one mineral, and then 3 months later they were dead because they died from something else. And so I learned, you got to take the whole thing, and it's all in there. But we do have secret sauces, like we do have the sweeties or type 2 diabetes, to add to the Healthy Start Pack or the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. You don't just take the nutrient. You don't just take that one mineral and it's all going to be over. This is a lifetime deal. I'm going to take all 90, take more of that one or two, depending on the disease we're talking about, and you'll do fine. Just like there was this guy, a new ad I saw on TV this morning on Meat and Breakfast. This guy saying, oh, he found out about tinnitus, ringing in the ears. He could take these herbs and get rid of it. Well, that's good. We have those herbs too. And you can do all that. It's all in the book, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, Passport to Aromatherapy. It's all in there. But you also want to be taking the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, the MSM, and the collagen peptides and your vitamin D3, so you can rebuild your skull so you don't have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing it and causing tinnitus by squeezing the auditory branch of the eighth cranial nerve. And that's where this comes in. 37 different diseases are caused by osteoporosis of the skull, and doctors will send you to their classmates who specialize in something, or they specialize in something, and they're not giving you what you need. They're just treating the symptoms. This is why you need to get these books.
That's right. So we're looking at underlying causes, not just
Symptoms.
something to go over a bandage to mask it. Well, Dr. Wallach, we've got several hands up. One of them, we have a gentleman that it was my next question, and I was just told that he has jumped over from YouTube. So he had a question in YouTube, and Alfredo, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on with Dr. Wallach. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. How can we help you, sir?
Yes, sir. I got COVID back in November of 2020, and I was in the hospital for 3 months in pretty bad shape. And now I have what they call long COVID or post-COVID syndrome, in which I have pulmonary fibrosis, pulmonary edema, COPD, all the different respiratory diseases now. Along with that, I had a bout of AFib and 3 chronic blood clots in my left leg. And right now I'm at 30% capacity in my lung function. I was going to see what can I do for that.
Okay. Do you have any tinnitus, any ringing in your ears?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any balance problems or dizziness?
Dizziness, and also when I'm sitting still, I'm okay. My oxygen saturation in the 90s, but whenever I start walking, I drop down to the low or the high 70s and 80s when I start walking.
All right. Let's see here. Also, what about let's see here. How many times a night do you wake up to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times?
About twice,
Mm-hmm.
but under so.
Okay. And do you have anything going on in your knees, your hips, your back?
No, that's fine. Just the left leg, where sometimes I get the swelling from the edema from the clots.
Sure. Has your voice changed any? Do you have trouble swallowing?
Yes, I have trouble swallowing.
Okay.
It helps in the
You got
intubation.
about 8 of the diseases we can get rid of. They're in this book. It's all in your head. You have osteoporosis of the skull.
Okay.
Okay. And that may have been, why you had COVID so bad, because you had osteoporosis of the skull. Okay. And your defenses were not as good as they could have been, right? And
Right.
so this book and the CD that goes along with it's a set. Okay. And this is my favorite picture of all the pictures I've taken in my pathology days. Top one is a normal skull. The cap has been removed. Looking down on the brain, you can see the skull is only a 1/4 inch thick. The bottom one has osteoporosis, and it's the skull is 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. Now you have to appreciate when your voice changes and you have trouble swallowing, that's the 9th cranial nerve being squeezed. When you have balance problems and tinnitus, that means the vestibular branch and the auditory branch, your 8th cranial nerve is being squeezed. When you have stomach problems, okay, the 10th cranial nerve is being squeezed. Do you have any irregular heartbeat, anything like that?
Say again.
Do you have an irregular heartbeat? Do you have atrial fibrillation?
AFib I had when I desaturated pretty bad, and I had about AFib just once.
Okay, so you did have an episode. Yeah.
Yes.
And this is caused by the skull squeezing the 10th cranial nerve. It also causes extreme stomach pain, because that same nerve that tells your heart how fast to beat, it goes on down. It's called the vagus nerve. It goes into your stomach. It's called gastroparesis, where you get really serious stomach pain. And this is because the skull is squeezing that 10th cranial nerve. So you need to get a hold of this book and this CD. It's all in your head. And the formula that I'm going to give you quickly here is in here. So if you don't get it all written down, you can listen to it again, okay, on the program, if it's recorded, but also it's in the book. The formula is in the book. How much you weigh, sir?
I weigh 275, 6 foot tall.
Okay, 235.
275.
275. Do you have any diabetes or high blood pressure?
No, my A1C was like a 5.5, but no high blood pressure.
It's good. That's good. Okay, so I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, full dose filling twice a day. I want you to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. I want you to get 2 canisters a month of the collagen peptides, so you can take a scoop of that with breakfast, a scoop of that with dinner. I want you to get the vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. And for circulation through the brain, through the heart, through the kidneys, I want you to take our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, take 3 of those twice a day, and that will, let's see here, that will help you with supporting everything, including your immune system. And of course, when you have all the stuff you had, you want the program I gave you because it will rebuild your immune system, including the bone marrow, which makes white blood cells, which go and kill the viruses. But don't forget our colloidal silver. Okay, you don't need a prescription for our colloidal silver. I go through 2 bottles of this a month. Put 2 droppers full under my tongue when I wake up, 2 droppers full under my tongue, say 5 or 10 minutes for lunchtime, breakfast time, lunchtime, dinner time, and bedtime again. So I go through 2 of these bottles a month. And you don't need a prescription from your doctor to get this. The colloidal silver was used as the antibiotic that everybody knew about around the world for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It only went away in 1936 when penicillin came out, and doctors switched over to penicillin because people needed to pay an office call, get an examination, and also pay for this prescription, okay? And had to come back in a month to get checked again and again and again. That's when insurance came about that same time, because people would just say, well, we can't afford to go to the doctor. But companies say, well, we want you to work for us and we'll give you some health insurance here that'll help you with your health issues financially, blah, 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 blah. So that's how that all happened. But yeah, you should be able to have tremendous results very quickly, okay? Just follow that little recipe I gave you. But remember, you've got about 8 of the diseases that are caused, 8 of the 37 different diseases that are caused by osteoporosis of the skull. So there's no doubt you have osteoporosis of the skull. So let us hear from you. People want to hear whatever happened to that guy, okay?
All right, thank you, Alfredo. And I know Ruth Ellen helped you come over. If you're not working with anybody in regards to our products yet, please make sure that you stay in contact with her and she will help you get what you need in regards to getting on a better track. So I know, Dr. Wallach, you need to skedaddle here and get on to the next program. Thank you so much again for joining us. We thank you and appreciate your time, sir. All right, everybody. And thank you so much for coming on with us. I was just informed that somebody had their actual hand up, and I apologize. I don't see all the cameras. So please, if you have questions and we did not get to your questions, go to dailywithdoc.com and use that contact us. And you could submit your questions that way as well. We're going through the questions as many as we can on our program, but we are also getting back to people in the order that they're received with an email. And if we have the protocol already for the things that you're experiencing, we will get that protocol to you. So if I could get my co-hosts on with me today, I absolutely appreciate Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Sherry Browning, and Marilyn Pizzera. They are absolutely fabulous in helping to make this program a success and getting people into the room, getting the information in the chat. And folks, if you are watching us on Rumble or YouTube or on Facebook, you're not seeing the valuable information that is in the chat. So we encourage you to join us here live in our Zoom room at dailywithdoc.zoom.com. And that is Monday through Friday from noon to 12:50 each and every day. Come and join us. So until next time, and on behalf of myself and my co-hosts and the Critical Health News team, bye for now.